my dear Rwandan fellow who are here present, distinguished guests, all protocol observed. First and foremost, I wish to extend solace to all survivors of the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. The episodes of life they witnessed during the 100 days in 1994 are unspeakable. Over 1 million lives were lost, killed. Our people were hunted in the wild by their friends, neighbors, sometimes relatives, and strangers, just because of who they were, Tutsi. We are committed to the assurance to all our survivors that never again in Rwanda is irreversible. I am grateful to all of you for gracing us with your presence at the commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in our country, Rwanda, the second of its kind in this beautiful city, also Poland. I want also to sincerely thank our guest of honor, Mr. Pavel, the Deputy Marshal, Madam Honorable Gabriela, and Honorable Fogel, as well as my brother Ambassador Papa Diop and Professor Malta, who have wanted to be here, not only to be here, but also to share with us their words of solidarity. I thank you. And I want to say we don't take it for granted. We don't take for granted your time of being here. We don't take for granted your words of wisdom, and we don't take for granted your commitment and your solidarity with Rwanda and with our young generations. This reminds me of a great mind, Raphael Lemkin, who coined the term genocide, and who can be called the father of the Genocide Convention in 1947. And as you well know, Raphael Lemkin was also Polish. So when I see with you here and the good words from the Polish leadership, it absolutely resonates, as if we see again the Polish global solidarity coming out. And I want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank Dr. Zygmunt Stępiński, the director of this museum, for allowing us to host this commemoration just here. I think this is the right place, as just Minister Yabonsi has explained. This is the best place to hold our Kwibuka in Warsaw. Allow me also to recognize someone, a son of this land, and I will say this in Polish to be sure that, or in Kinyarwanda, to be sure that he doesn't miss it. Ojciec Ksiądz Stanisław Urbaniak. Stanisław Urbaniak jest naszym umulinzi w'igihango. Jest bardzo młody, ale bym prosił, żeby trochę wstawał, żeby mi ja coś powiedział. Sorry. Ksiądz Stanisław jest umulinzi w'igihango in Rwanda. It's our hero. Hero sprawiedliwy, gdybym to mówił po polsku. He was one of the very few people in our country in 1994 genocide who attempted and succeeded in protecting people targeted in hundreds. He is a priest. He was a priest in the center of Rwanda, the parish of Ruhango, where he succeeded in protecting 600 people from being slaughtered. So, and because of that, he was recognized by the people of Rwanda and the leadership of Rwanda, and now we have him here. He has come back to Poland, but I think he was one of the, probably the best ambassadors of humanism and wisdom and mission, not only for Poland, but globally. There are not so many like him who risked. He went through a lot of risks, but we are happy he's alive and we are glad he has been able to make the difference. Thank you very much, Padri. So as you can hear, he can speak Kinyarwanda very easily. As a global community, we must continue to reflect on why stereotypes, ethnicity, xenophobia, and nationalistic prejudices have continued to manifest and lead to war, crimes against humanity, and above all, genocide, just like the one we experienced 29 years ago in Rwanda. We must reflect to act so that never again becomes a fact, not just a declaration of good intention. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the short film you saw, The Power of Forgiveness, is an illustration of Rwanda of today. Almost every hill in our country of 1,000 hills has a story like that one. And this was not an accident, nor was it a spontaneous social reaction. This deep transformation comes from a sound political ideology of the Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, and the policy, the wise policy of post-genocide government of Rwanda to embrace national unity and reconciliation despite the scars left by the genocide. It wasn't easy, as said Robert, you heard, but it was imperative. It necessitated leadership and resilience. Rwandans were ready for both, and we still are. Our national theme for this year's commemoration is Remember, Unite, Renew, because it is our profound duty to keep the eternal flame of our loved ones glowing for the next generations and preserve memory for the meaning of never again. As a people, we unite to restore our dignity and take our destiny in our hands as one people, built on Rwanda, I am Rwandan, to deconstruct the root causes of genocide. We renew to ensure prosperity and security for our country, our people, and our future generations. Rwanda's commitment to remembrance is imperative, our determination for unity is unshakable, and our resolve for renewal and dignity, agaciro, is unstoppable. Looking through the lenses of the UN General Assembly resolution of 20th the UN General Assembly Resolution R/RES/74/273, the commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi is not a Rwandan event, but an internationally recognized event as it relates to most serious crimes in the history of humanity. Excellencies, allow me to take you a little bit back as we gather here today on 8th of May. I would like to take you closer to one of the many episodes of this day 29 years back on 18th May 1994 in Rwanda. What happened? On this very day, Tutsi orphans who sought refuge at the village d'enfants SOS Gikongoro were systematically slaughtered by the Interahamwe at the orders of the very people who were supposed to protect them, their teacher and headmaster. 10 of them were killed that very day on 8th May. Unfortunately, there was nobody to rescue them. At that day, RPF soldiers were fighting genocidal forces in eastern, central, and southern parts of the country, but they haven't yet reached the area of Gikongoro. It was too late to save the 10 lives, though many others were saved. Among the 10 kids killed, we were able to establish 3 names: Ernestine, Ellen, and Johnson. We remember them. We remember also that some of these kids were killed in thousands. The little girls were raped, as here in that very same place in Gikongoro, a 12-year-old girl was raped before being killed. We remember Elaine, Ernestine, and Jason as we do remember thousands of kids that were killed in the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. As stated by His Excellency Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, during this year's keynote address at Kwibuka, genocide denial is a dangerous and deliberate attempt to block the truth. We must fight revisionist ideologies because they are easily passed on from generation to generation. We must fight denial because that is how history repeats itself. End of quote. This was also echoed by Emil Fish, a Holocaust survivor, when he said that history repeats itself for those who refuse to learn from it. It's as simple as that. End of quote. We are pleased, Excellencies, that more and more countries are taking fugitives of the genocide to justice. There are many in Europe. We see that as a best practice, and we thank those countries for moving forward with justice. But I would like to draw your attention to the fact that in spite of that, we still have about 1,000 arrests and indictment warrants issued by the government of Rwanda against perpetrators of the genocide against the Tutsi, Majority of these fugitives are still at large in capitals in Europe, Africa, and Americas. Fortunately, at the best of our knowledge, there is none in Poland. We call upon all concerned states to cooperate with the government of Rwanda to investigate, arrest, prosecute, or extradite all the remaining fugitives accused of the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. Rwanda strongly reiterates the call by the UN General Assembly to all UN member states that have not yet ratified or acceded to the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide to consider doing so and, where necessary, to enact national legislation in order to meet their obligations under the Convention. Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Shyaka, distinguished guests, 29 years have passed since the genocide against the Tutsi. In spite of this tragic history, the Rwandan people have managed to turn the page and move forward from grieving towards a united and prosperous nation. Today, 70% of the total population of our country is made of a youthful generation born after 1994. Almost all of the 1,000 or so of young compatriots living here in Poland are in this category. This is a big hope for Rwanda. They are privileged and proud. They are a privileged and a proud generation. They make us confident in a bright future. Risen from the ashes of 1994 genocide, today Rwanda is among the top 3 UN peacekeeping contributor countries globally. One of the safest countries in Africa, one of the fastest growing economies on the continent, ranking among the best countries to do business, among others. Excellencies, distinguished audience, nothing comes from nothing. The 1994 genocide in Rwanda was a product of bad politics. Reconciliation and transformation we see today in our country is a product of good politics. And good politics is engendered by a visionary and transformational leadership of His Excellency Paul Kagame, the President of Rwanda. As Rwandans, we are immensely thankful for he walks the talk. As I conclude, Excellencies, I want once again to thank you and to thank each and every one of you for joining us here today to commemorate for the 29th times the genocide perpetrated against the Tutsi. Remember, unite, renew. Twibuke, twiyubaka. Thank you so much.